My name is Frankenstein!
He's a Frankenstein! And they're all alike!
Blu-ray version of Young Frankenstein, he would go crazy.
The actor who was actually strangled unconscious on camera, and they kept it in the film.
I did a satire of those Frankenstein scary movies.
The horse that accidentally created the movie's most famous running gag by refusing to follow any direction. These are 12 incredible facts about Young Frankenstein you never knew. From Gene Wilder blackmailing Mel Brooks into directing to Peter Boyle's depression over playing the monster.
Gene was supposed to do role in it for 3 months so that he could work on our picture.
These behind-the-scenes stories reveal how comedy gold came from genuine chaos and pain. 1. Wilder's blazing blackmail. Gene Wilder essentially extorted Mel Brooks into making Young Frankenstein by refusing to finish Blazing Saddles without a signed contract. While shooting the Western, Wilder handed Brooks a 4-page treatment he'd written, saying, "Sign this or I walk."
The first thing I wrote on the script was, I didn't know if Mel would keep it. I didn't know if the studio would do it that way.
Brooks initially refused, wanting to make a space parody instead. Wilder began packing his trailer. With Blazing Saddles half finished and Warner Brothers threatening lawsuits, Brooks had no choice. He signed the agreement on Blazing Saddles stationery, legally committing to direct Young Frankenstein immediately after. Wilder later admitted this was planned from the beginning. He took the Blazing Saddles role specifically to trap Brooks. The blackmail worked. Both films became classics released the same year. 2. Feldman's Wandering Eye Chaos. Marty Feldman could move his eyes independently due to Graves' disease, a skill that drove Mel Brooks to near madness trying to direct. Feldman would intentionally let one eye drift during takes, ruining continuity. Brooks would scream, "Cut! Where are you looking?" Feldman would respond, "Which eye?" He did this 40 times during the walk this way scene alone. The wall-eyed look wasn't makeup. Feldman's thyroid condition caused permanent bulging. He used this defect for comedy, but suffered severe headaches. Brooks eventually gave up controlling Feldman's eyes, telling cinematographer Gerald Hirschfeld, "Just shoot whatever the hell he's doing." The unpredictable eye movements added to Igor's unsettling charm. 3. Boyle's monster meltdown. Peter Boyle fell into severe depression after seeing himself in full monster makeup, convinced he'd destroyed his career playing a grunting creature. He called his agent drunk at 3 a.m., saying, "I'm a serious actor reduced to going, Boyle refused to watch dailies and wouldn't socialize with cast, eating alone in full makeup. He considered quitting mid-production. When putting on the Ritz was suggested, Boyle had a breakdown, saying tap dancing would end any remaining dignity. Gene Wilder spent nights convincing him the role was genius, not career suicide. Boyle only understood after the premiere's standing ovation. He later called the depression mourning my own career while it was actually being born. 4. The real unconscious scene. During the strangling scene, Peter Boyle actually choked Gene Wilder unconscious because they couldn't fake the realism Brooks demanded. After 15 takes looking too theatrical, Boyle suggested really choking Wilder briefly. Wilder agreed, establishing a tap signal for release. But Wilder passed out before tapping. The terror in his eyes is real oxygen deprivation. Boyle didn't realize until Wilder went limp. Medical staff revived Wilder with oxygen. When he regained consciousness, his first words were, "Did we get it?" Brooks used that take, saying Wilder's purple face and bulging eyes were perfect. The Screen Actors Guild investigated, but Wilder refused to testify against Boyle. 5. Mars's dislocated dedication. Kenneth Mars dislocated his jaw developing Inspector Kemp's accent and spent the entire production with it partially displaced, refusing medical treatment to maintain vocal consistency. The wooden arm wasn't the only real impairment. Mars couldn't fully close his mouth for 3 months. He survived on liquids and painkillers. The peculiar speech pattern came from his inability to move his jaw normally. Doctors warned of permanent damage. Mars responded, "This is what we do for art." The dislocation caused such pain that Mars cried between takes, hidden by makeup. Post-production surgery required 6 months of therapy. Mars never regained full jaw mobility, but called it worth every moment of agony. 6. The Graveyard of Universal Monsters. The laboratory equipment was actually the original 1931 Frankenstein machinery Mel Brooks discovered in Universal's basement, abandoned for 40 years. Kenneth Strickfaden, who created the 1931 props, was still alive at 80. Brooks hired him to restore his own equipment. Strickfaden cried seeing his machine spark again. The equipment was so dangerous it required special insurance. Several pieces exploded during filming. The original Jacob's ladders contained radium, requiring hazmat handling. Everything was functional, not props. When activated simultaneously, they blew the studio's electrical grid. Universal didn't know Brooks had found the equipment. They thought it was destroyed. The discovery saved $400,000 in prop creation. 7. Frau Blücher's unscripted terror. The horse's terrified whinnying whenever someone said Frau Blücher was completely accidental, created by one uncontrollable horse that hated Cloris Leachman. The first horse, named Destiny, would panic at Leachman's voice regardless of the words spoken. Rather than replace the horse, Brooks incorporated the reaction. They tried multiple horses, all reacted similarly to Leachman. An animal psychologist determined her voice frequency triggered equine distress. The sound department enhanced natural whinnies for consistency. Leachman was genuinely hurt that horses hated her. She tried different perfumes, clothes, and voice coaching. Nothing worked. The running gag that audiences thought was planned came from genuine animal fear of one actress. 8. Kahn's exhausted ecstasy. Madeline Kahn's orgasmic Sweet Mystery of Life was filmed in one take at 4 a.m., when she was legitimately exhausted and slightly delirious. Brooks deliberately scheduled the scene after 19 hours of shooting, knowing Kahn would be too tired to overthink. She was actually lying down because she couldn't stand. The operatic orgasm wasn't scripted. Kahn was so tired she started laughing hysterically, which Brooks interpreted as perfect. She doesn't remember filming it. The crew was sent away except for essential personnel because Kahn kept giggling uncontrollably. What appears as comic genius was actually sleep-deprived delirium. Kahn later said she watched the scene thinking, "When did I do that?" 9. The Ritz collapse catastrophe. During Puttin' on the Ritz, the rotating room set collapsed while Peter Boyle was chained to it, nearly crushing him under 2 tons of equipment. A gear stripped mid-rotation, causing the entire mechanism to fall. Boyle, unable to move in the rigid monster suit and chains, watched it descending. Crew members dragged him clear with seconds to spare. The crash destroyed 3 cameras and nearly killed the focus puller. Investigation revealed sabotage. Someone had deliberately weakened the gears. Police suspected a fired crew member but couldn't prove it. The scene was rebuilt with triple safety redundancy. Boyle required sedatives to complete the number, traumatized by nearly dying while tap dancing. 10. Brooks's voice everywhere. Mel Brooks voices multiple uncredited characters throughout the film, including the cat hit by darts, the werewolf's howl, and Frederick's grandfather's voice. He's also the sound of the bee that Igor swats. Brooks recorded these in post-production without telling anyone. The cat screech is Brooks actually being hit in the shin by his wife Anne Bancroft during recording. The werewolf howl is Brooks gargling while screaming. He voices at least one sound in every scene, a signature he included in all his films. Sound engineers discovered Brooks secretly recorded over their work at night. When confronted, Brooks said, "Every frame needs my DNA." 11. The lost 45 minutes. Mel Brooks cut 45 minutes of footage for being too funny to let audiences breathe, including entire subplots that tested higher than kept scenes. A deleted sequence showed Igor's hump switching sides explained by a twin brother they shared the job with. Another cut scene had the monster learning to cook, burning down 3 kitchens. Gene Hackman had additional blind hermit scenes, including accidentally shaving the monster bald. The censors demanded cuts of Madeline Kahn examining the monster's equipment in detail. These scenes tested so well that audiences couldn't recover for the next joke. Brooks destroyed the footage, saying comedy needs rhythm, not just laughs. Cast members claimed the deleted scenes were funnier than the entire released film. 12. Hackman's comedy desperation. Gene Hackman begged Mel Brooks for the blind hermit role, desperate to escape tough guy typecasting after The French Connection. He called Brooks 17 times, offered to work for free, and sent daily telegrams signed, "Your future blind hermit." Brooks initially refused, thinking Hackman was too serious. Hackman made an audition tape in his garage wearing sunglasses and breaking dishes. He learned violin badly specifically for the role. Brooks finally agreed, but made Hackman promise to play it completely straight. Which young Frankenstein revelation shocked you most? Was it Gene Wilder actually being strangled unconscious, or the horses genuinely terrified of Cloris Leachman? Drop your favorite quote in the comments dash. That's Frankenstein! And if you want more incredible facts about comedy classics that nearly killed their cast members, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Until next time, remember, it could be worse. It could be raining. Thanks for watching.